Hello and welcome to another episode of Harvest Prosperity Podcast. My name is Naomi Marsh, here to explore the transformative power of the mind and how our thoughts shape our reality. As a certified holistic behavioral coach, life coach, holistic educator, and energy worker, I am honored to guide you on this journey of self-discoverment and empowerment. So thank you for listening. In today's episode, we're going to dip our toes into the fascinating realm of thought patterns and how they shape our reality. Understanding the influence of our thoughts and how they affect our emotions and physical health is really important for anyone who's seeking to live an intentional, balanced life. It's important to understand first that the mind, body, emotion, and spirit are all connected. So if something's going haywire in your mind, it may affect your physical health and vice versa, as well as your emotions. So with that being said, I'm not going to go too far into that, but it is important for you to understand that they're all interconnected. So the subconscious mind is mostly where we're going to be talking about today. And like I said earlier, we're just dipping our toes in. So I'm going to relate it to kind of the record of our lives. And to comprehend or to get kind of a deeper understanding really of the power of our thoughts, it's important to understand the subconscious mind and the role that it plays. As a lover of music, I find the metaphor of a record being really helpful for me. So let's imagine your subconscious mind as an old record with grooves that have been etched from childhood experiences, beliefs, and habits over time. So if you can imagine, your subconscious is this record. And these grooves play the same song repeatedly until you reprogram it or buff it out, so to speak. So they influence how we perceive the world around us and how we react to it. So just as a record can be, edited or scratched, we also have the power to buff out old responses and rewrite our song so we can create a new melody for our lives. Some thoughts that we have that are very intrusive and continuous really they may not even be from us directly. It could be formed from our parents, caretakers, other people in our lives that have really shaped our automatic responses. So it can be generational as well. My husband was watching an antique show, and this lady had these huge rings. She told the story of how her parents would continuously, tell her that she was not good looking and ugly, and I'm sure other negative comments in there as well. I can imagine how often those thoughts swirled around in her mind, throughout her life when she met someone new or just walking into a room of people or past a mirror. And these harmful declarations created a mantra in her mind. She was at this antique show and with these huge elaborate rings, and she went on to tell the host about how her parents told her she was not good looking and so forth. And in order to distract from her appearance, she would wear these huge eye-catching kind of gaudy rings. And my husband continued to tell me about the show, and he added that she wasn't bad looking at all, but she believed what she was told, and her thoughts shaped her reality. So I thought, what a sad song to play over and over again. So it's time for a new song, friends. If you have some hard thoughts that are really just stubborn thoughts that are really not productive for you, then here's some things we can talk about. So buffing out those old responses. When a record's made, each one of those grooves are crafted with precision to capture, the nuance of the sound itself in that groove. So similarly, our subconscious grooves, our subconscious mind, which we're saying as grooves, are shaped by the intricacies of our experiences, our beliefs, and our habits, like I said earlier. And these grooves hold the stories we've been told as well, and the narratives that we've come to accept. So over time, they become our default way of thinking and reacting. So they're not just in our mind wandering around in there, they're actually out in the world because we're reacting in the way that we're also programmed in those grooves. So buffing out a record requires a lot of patience and care and consistency. It's not a one-time fix, but a gradual process of smoothing out the old grooves and creating space for new ones. The same principle applies when we aim to rewrite our subconscious mind patterns. So identifying outdated thoughts and beliefs is just the beginning. To effect real change, we have to consistently choose new empowering thoughts that align with our present goals and values. So just as those record grooves are carefully etched into the vinyl, forming paths for that needle to follow, our subconscious mind grooves are formed over years of repeated thoughts and experiences. And these grooves dictate our automatic responses and behaviors, much like a record playing the same song over and over. And anyone who's had any intrusive thoughts knows it's not just one thought. It comes back over and over and over, like the saying, a broken record. So the best advice I can give you really is time, patience, and consistency. It is all about practice. But it's also about being gentle with yourself as you're buffing away the old unhelpful grooves and allowing those new positive patterns to take shape. So each time we choose a healthier thought or response, we're etching a new groove into our subconscious mind's record. So the process of buffing out is the practice. And then activating that is where the healing occurs and the rewriting of that beautiful song comes in. So your journey of transformation is very personal to you. You're going to know what you need and what intrusive thoughts you're working with. And it's an ongoing process. Each step that we make, no matter how small it is, it really invests in ourselves and contributes to the creation of that new melody in our life that we're striving for, that we really want. So just stay committed to the process, and you'll gradually see these shifts in your mindset and behavior, and it'll lead to a more fulfilling and harmonious existence here. And just like transforming a record involves repeated effort to polish and refine, reshaping our thought patterns demands that same time and patience and consistency as well. So let's talk about the power of our thoughts. Our thoughts really impact our emotions, influence our actions, and ultimately shape our reality, which is what we're talking about here today. So healthy, productive, positive, empowering thoughts can lead us to having a fulfilling and prosperous life. And while unhealthy, unproductive, or negative, limiting thoughts can hold us back. They can prevent us from achieving our goals, acting like blocks and obstacles in our way. So it prevents that flow. Our thoughts, they're not just these fleeting images, they're energy. And so once you understand that this energy can attract experiences and opportunities that resonate with the frequency of your thoughts, you'll be able to attract what you want in life. This is why the law of attraction works. We attract what we think. So you've all heard of mantras before, I'm sure, in one setting or another. Usually it's in like meditation or yoga sessions. But mantras are very powerful tools that we can use to focus our mind and align our energy. When we repeat these phrases or sounds, it helps clear the mental clutter and reinforce these positive thoughts and beliefs that we're wanting to write in our new song. So as we're rewriting this, we need to be very careful with what we're putting in. What song are we writing? What are we telling our mind? And so they serve as anchors for our mind, these mantras do, during times of stress and uncertainty. So when we practice them and we choose a mantra that resonates with our goals and aspirations, we really are cultivating a sense of peace and direction and guiding us toward the life that we're hoping to manifest. So incorporating mantras into our daily routine can really transform our mental landscape, much like rewriting our favorite song. So with each repetition, we enforce the new grooves of thought. And so it's nurturing a mindset that's really attracting healthy, positive growth into your life. Whether you choose traditional mantras or you create one that speaks to your personal journey, the key is to really engage with it consistently and with intention. So when a situation does arise, you can play your new song automatically. So this is where the practice, like I said, really kind of takes priority over everything. And I am a firm believer that we should create our own mantras because we are the ones in charge of our thoughts. You know what you're facing, what your most unhealthy thoughts are, which ones are intrusive, which ones do you want to change. Move past the point of awareness and being aware of these toxic thoughts and into mental practice, which is mindfulness. And it is all about practice. You're going to hear me say it over and over and over. I still practice the same things. You can't master it. We're always going to be learning. So remember that your thoughts are energy. And so what you think, you attract. And like I mentioned earlier, they're not just voices in your head or these fleeting mental images. This energy can attract experiences and opportunities that resonate with the frequency of your thoughts. That in itself is extremely powerful. So try learning how to tap into that. It's going to take a lot of practice. You got to start with the basic fundamentals. So now let's do an exercise. You can find a quiet space somewhere without distraction, your cozy little nook, and grab your journal or notebook, or you can just revisit this episode whenever you have time. This exercise is for rewriting your song. So it's to help you begin rewriting your subconscious mind record. And I made it very simple, easy to follow, and to help guide you in reshaping your thought patterns and aligning them with your personal aspirations. So, step 1. Identify limiting beliefs. So once you find a peaceful place and you have your cozy little nook where you can reflect without interruption, this one's going to take a little bit of, it's going to be uncomfortable a little bit. So take several deep breaths if you need to, once you feel nice and calm and centered, to just kind of clear that mental clutter. I want you to take your time with this and list, let's start with the top 10 common thoughts or beliefs that arise when you're faced with a challenge. And then I want you to ask yourself this question. Do these thoughts or beliefs serve your growth, or do they hinder it? Are they getting in the way? Next, I want you to work on reframing your thoughts. So choose one negative thought from your list, just one. I want you to transform this thought into a positive mantra. It's like an affirmation for yourself. For an example, if your negative response go-to is, this isn't going to work, whenever you're presented with something, you can change it to, everything is working out for my highest good. So whenever you're in a challenging situation and you're, no, this isn't going to work. This will never work. And you want to get rid of that, your go-to is going to say, you're going to say, everything is working out for my highest good. So even if you have that thought, replace it. Even if you say it out loud, replace it with a new one. Repeat this mantra daily, as many times as you can. You want to get it really down on the inside, whatever it is that you're creating. And every time you have this thought, replace it with the new one. This is how you begin to buff out the old grooves and replace it with a new empowering song for yourself and your life. And guess what? Everyone around you is going to experience something amazing and transformative through your own personal transformation, because it's a ripple effect. It affects everyone around you. So now let's do a visualization. Close your eyes and picture a scene where your new mantra affirmation is true. This is how you're responding to a situation. Now visualize yourself confidently navigating a situation that once seemed daunting. Now you're empowered by this new mantra, this new thought. Focus on the emotions that this visualization invokes in you, such as confidence, empowerment, joy, all the good stuff. So if you dedicate yourself to your personal transformation and consistently practice even 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, that's nothing. You could do it in the shower. You'll be able to buff out those old grooves and intrusive negative thoughts, all those old patterns and toxic responses, and create a new empowering song for your life. The subconscious mind is a very complex and intriguing subject. It's very deep. We only barely touch the surface. And I covered some helpful information in this episode, and I will be sharing some more about the subconscious mind in the future. But this will help you right now get some tools to be able to tackle some of those negative thoughts that you might be battling. And if you're interested in learning more, there's a lot of resources out there to discover and explore, even through your local library. So throughout my personal transformation journey, learning about the subconscious mind has been one of the most eye-opening and fascinating topics. But more than that, it helped me gain a deeper understanding of myself and my own thought patterns and behaviors that I wanted to change. Well, looks like my time's up today, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Harvest Prosperity. I hope it inspires you to harness the power of your thoughts and shape your reality. So remember to subscribe to Harvest Prosperity Podcast for more insightful discussions. And if you're interested in learning more, go to harvestprosperity.com. I offer holistic coaching, and there's some information there that we'll be able to connect you with as well. So don't forget to connect with us on Instagram or Facebook at Harvest Prosperity. Until next time, nurture those beautiful seeds of greatness within you and have a wonderful and prosperous day.